Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. The sand art was really beautiful. There's another wedding, and I have oracle cards at the end for you, and there's some pretty potent messages in this reading today. So stay tuned, okay? It is December 31st, 2018. It is New Year's Eve, the last day of 2018. I'm going to get right into the sand art, and then we'll get right into the read. And there's a little bit I want to bring up from a quick read I did yesterday as well. So, the sand art. A marriage. One big, serious, secure marriage. And the path is perfectly aligned. Two small angels standing up for the Divine Masculine. A path marked with stones, one step at a time. The light and the shadow. There's guides in the ceiling corners. The groom full of lust, seeing her in her purity and white dress as she walks toward him, he feels the old walls and ceilings come crashing down around him, only making him stronger and more grounded. A big foundation. She stops to regroup, others adjusting her gown. Emotions rise as the Holy Spirit comes with a secret, a surprise. The bride wells up fully, expanding to everyone as they meld all together willingly, two spirits as one. And like a catapult, they disappear, an infinity pool in the mountains or volcanic areas with small eruptions. Their ship comes in. It was hidden well. He didn't know that he was under her spell. Also could be a baby conceived, and after could be a tent. The altar, could be a tent as well, with a huge crowd around it. So I was getting maybe two situations, one in the mountains and one in where the altar is a tent, just a pitched tent, and then there's a huge crowd outside it around it. And the angels were all lined up behind the altar, covering the whole back. And as the ceremony ends, the angels are going away and away and away, and then at the end, they come back to check really quick to make sure everything is good. So it's really beautiful, and Spirit's connecting with me. All right, so someone's definitely getting married or getting proposed to today. Today, 12/21 or 12/31, excuse me. So what I wanted to bring up from yesterday, I did a small read for the masculine. Maybe I'll go through it really quick. It's only a page and a half. There's something about the Divine Masculine's mother. One of two extremes. Both were coming up. Either like hang ma 10, so hanging 10 with the mother, and it's the Holy Trinity energy, or really the Divine Masculine wants to hang their mother. Hang ma came up. That's the first thing that comes up in the code, and Tahiti comes up here in the coding. So there's both situations are here. Okay, so it's gonna be different for different Divine Masculines, but this is the masculine's read from last night. This was at 6:53 last night, and 53 is the catapult. It's also the Knight of Swords. So it is that truth rushing in, announcements, the messenger of truth. So also 77 was coming up yesterday. Is there anything else I wanted to bring up? If this read doesn't go too long, maybe I'll go back and read that. I also watched The Little Hours, which was interesting. That was about in the olden days. It was kind of a spoof about living in a convent in the olden days. The Little Hours. That was interesting. There were definitely nuns in that movie. Okay, what else came up? 77 was coming up, and 88 was coming up, 78. 9/11 came up last night, as well as 22. All for the masculine. And then when I did the sand art today, or last night, that was at 11:38 last night, and 38 is the Queen of Cups. 38:11 is the Queen of Cups, and that's the time that the sand art was done for this wedding. So it's really some beautiful energy there. So for today, 31 is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is, excuse me just one second, so I can fix myself here. I have some necklaces on, so they're kind of in the way. All right. So the 31st is the Five of Wands, and that's all about that expansion, conflict, could be some fighting energy. Could be playing sports, games. Also, so it's very physical. And then the day adds up to 54-9, which is the Page of Swords. So that's about communication, whether it's news, messages, small messages, but it can be also very immature communication. So watch out for that with the Five of Wands today. They both could be just out playing with kids or being kids, but also could go to the negative side of being, a big fight with immature words. So that is the energy coming up today. The 54-9, 9 is of compassion, love, endings, and my voice is going with the Page of Swords there, so someone needs to say something. Just be careful with the words. Remember to come from your feelings, from your heart space, not from your head. Okay, so the compassion, having compassion is why that came up as well, to make sure you have compassion with your words. So endings, universal selflessness, and it's that 4 of stability on the inside, feeling very grounded, and then the 5 of excitement and freedom on the outside, so being a lot of fun to talk to. The 31 is a 4, so that's of stability. It's the 1 of the masculine energy on the inside, and the 3 of joy coming together for New Year's Eve tonight. Being very smiley and fun and social, expressing yourself. But the energy is selfish because it's 1 on the inside. So how people come off tonight may not be their actual selves. So keep this in mind when you're having fun. Okay? It's okay to have fun and be joyful, but just know that some others' intentions may not be true. Okay? It might be, they may have an agenda. Okay? And so we have the 4 and the 9, which are actually good numbers for us. All right, so it's Monday. I awoke at 8:48. 48 is the 8 of Cups energy, so it's definitely that going within or walking away energy. And it is of the 8 of balance and staying at 0 point. And, oh boy, I don't know if you'll be able to see this really well, but I took a picture of the sun. It was kind of overcast this morning, but boy, was it beautiful. So I don't know if you'll pick it up between screens, but it was really yellow and orange. Maybe I'll post it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you could see it or not, because I'm not getting a really good image of it. But anyway, it was beautiful orange, like there's a really dark, beautiful yellow. Not dark yellow, but bright yellow right around the white of the sun, and then it disperses in an orange hue around it in the cloud. Really beautiful. So for the masculine, the read was at, it was finished at 10:19, and then I arrange cards afterwards, so that's why there's usually, sometimes I'll tell you more than one time. So 10:19, 10:20, 10:21 was the finishing of the read, which is the sun and the judgment and the world, so the end of the cycle. Okay, and the sun definitely came up today in the read, and the world came up in the read. And judgment, I think, too. The sun. Yeah, the sun and the world were major arcana. Judgment's in there, but it wasn't one of the major arcana. So the major arcana that came up for the masculine today were Ascension, Shadow, Solar, Deity, Reflection, and Higher Self, which in the Sirian Starseed deck are the World, the Devil, the Sun, the Hermit, and the High Priestess. There's 1 sword, 3 cups, 2 pentacles, and no wands for the masculine, which was interesting because the Knight of Wands comes up as the card after the read. So there was no wands within the read, and then all of a sudden the Knight of Wands shows up. Okay, the only court card that comes up is the Knight of Pentacles, except for the Knight of Wands that comes up right after the read, and the before the read card. So the underlying energy was the 2 of Orbs, but beneath that was the 9 of Pentacles, which is that independent woman, the single person who has everything they need. So that comes up as a character as well. The numbers that came up in the coding were all about number 25 and nature, and 25 is the Knight of Wands. So that was perfectly coinciding. And here my voice is going again. Numbers 10, 9, and 6 were coming up as the most important numbers from the numbers in the read. And 132 came up as well. And like I said, 25. And 25 is a 7, so 7 of spirituality. right, so the coding for the masculine was coming up about channel 10 regarding, I don't know if there's going to be an independent woman, like to the nth degree that it was really important on channel 10. There's an independent woman, maybe a story about her, and it was interesting because Michelle Obama came up in the coding before, so I don't know if it's referencing back to that, but it was important to see this. And Sophia 9's coming up again, the collective feminine energy of Sophia, and the love DNA being very strong. So Sophia 9 and love were being shown as synonymous, and DNA and being strong was coming up as being synonymous, and being natural, so natural. Okay, so channel 10 regarding to the nth degree an independent woman representing the divine collective of love and strong DNA and how to be natural. So that was one of the messages, but it was all about nature and being natural. Also a turn for the better on TV. Money, maybe the money of an independent woman with strong love DNA. Salt of the earth was coming up. The soil also. The soil being natural, not being soiled, but the soil coming up as part of nature, and salt of the earth, that was coming up as one thing. And then I was looking up Theas, T-H-E-A-S, because that was coming up as part of the coding, and that has to do with the right as far as sides, and it's 1144, and then south as a static position. Okay, so the right side south is this the word coming up, and having to do with this TV stuff. And it could be that the right side, or the masculine side, or the traditional side, Republican side, whatever it is, it may be representing that energy is going south. Theas is also coming up the definition as from teas. Teas as in coffee and tea. So also 10 TV, there could be something asinine that's coming up there as far as crying and stalling, you know, dramas, TV dramas. Also in this coding now is coming up comparing 10 TV to 6. 6 is coming up with the DNA and the ladder. So natural. Or soul nature. So it's coming up either way in this message right here that 6 was better than 10. I don't know if 10 will like that. But 6 DNA and 10 TV. So in some positive ways, 10 TV was coming up. But then it was being compared to 6 as climbing the ladder of natural DNA. The codes, when I put them in the system, were lyrics for Then He Kissed Me by the Crystals. That was the first thing coming up, and that was from 1963. And it was in the top 10 in 1963. Another title came up, there was something about an error about Cialis. So something negative about Cialis. And then focusing crystal mirrors for X-ray. And then it said diagnostics of laser-produced plasma. So if you're interested in that article, look it up. If you just put in that header, it will come up. Focusing crystal mirrors for X-ray. And then it was DIA ... short for diagnostics, which comes up in the article. And this was from Journal of Russian Laser Research. BRAG, B-R-A-G-G, reflection mirrors. So it actually looked interesting. Also 12 Days of Life Day from YouTube came up. Last year, guided, it was interesting that 12 Days of Life came up now, because last year at this time I was guided to go to a cathedral near me for 12 days in a row, which I did, and it was just 1441. That's Temperance and the Ace of Love. 1144 before was Justice, and the Four of Cups or Atlas. 44 is the mastering energy, okay? So Temperance and the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. The Angels and New Love. Spiritual love, self-love. In the 12 Days of Life online came up that on the 10th day of Life Day, Companion gave to me 10 color crystals. And then they go through their interpretation of the 12 Days of Christmas. 9 Mandalorians, 8 class stories, 7 decorations, 6 dread masters, 5 hypocrites, and 4 starting planets. Also, magnetization properties of a single, which was funny, which is not the complete title obviously, but it was coming up. Magnetization properties of a single. So that was pretty cool. And then when you opened it, it came up as SNMO6S8 as the single crystal. Another code that came up was Australian TV Guide, all TV showtimes, all channels, and then it said the fix. So there may be a fix going on as far as the program lineups. Riger 6 revolver came up, still one of the best handguns to own. For this person who was talking about it, it was bought in October of 1968. And then also the H&R 949 was coming up, as well as single 6, if any of you were, so someone might be shopping for a gun. This has nothing to do with my support or not, it's just a heading that was coming up. Another heading came up was console, so not just about console, but consoling others. Smallville, and this is from Wiki coming up. So don't play in Smallville, you know, it's okay to console others. In Fortress of Solitude was coming up. The console is the primary way to manipulate the fortress in this game. Then Diamond comes up, and that was Wiki also, bringing up the element of carbon, that atoms are arranged in a crystal. What did I write? Well, any which way, you know, it's called it's referenced as a diamond cube, the shape, the way the atoms arrange. And also stated that a diamond almost never converts to graphite, from carbon to graphite, at room temperature, which was interesting, because you never hear about a diamond changing. But it says it almost never converts, so at times a diamond could actually convert from carbon to graphite at room temperature. Also 10 microscopic views of events and huge consequences for the Earth came up as a title. 10 microscopic views of events. So you might want to take a look at that. That was kind of cool. So just put in 10 microscopic views of events with huge consequences for, I think Earth was only there when you opened it. And then the last one was Shameless TV Show. So it's bringing up a lot of stuff about TV and what's getting canned, the new lineups for the year, and what 6 and 10 are going to be choosing to, you know, what type of energy they're going to be posting this year. So getting into the read for the masculine, and then the number 310 comes up, and that's 310, source supporting 3-1, which is the 5 of Wands, that expansion energy, physical expansion. So you might be feeling it today. And it was just 1838 is the moon and the Queen of Cups again, so very much that feminine energy at night. So keep in mind too, as we go through New Year's Eve into New Year's at midnight, we're changing from the 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. And 6 of Wands is the leader, the successful person getting lots of attention. So if there's more conflictive energy, competitive energy beforehand, after midnight it's going to get really nice, with really nice attention. So the Divine Masculine, in knowing, after betrayal or painful ending, is off to offer new life, new love. Floating on air, never thought I'd feel so free. I can't remember the name of the TV show. Never thought I'd feel so free. I'm trying to remember the tune of it. And it ends, it's just me, and Spirit's connecting with me. It's just me. Okay, so floating on air, never thought I'd feel so free was coming up for the masculine. The Knight of Wands is out and about, waiting for a new passion to grow, with angel and patience. out being present, looking out to see if the coast is clear or if it's a clear day. Secret, psychic, or high priestess world in slow motion. The underlying energy here is wedding, so it involves marriage, and underneath that was passion. So passion was first, and then a wedding. Waiting for the tail end, or the tail to end. Patience and balance, standing in brown boots, natural in gardens, so some divine masculine may be standing in his boots naked out in the garden, growing weed or passion flowers, or something natural that he's passionate about that will grow money. One step at a time, no stone unturned. And then I was getting live and let die. And I was literally getting when, I don't know if you remember when he was hopping from alligator or crocodile, whatever it was, to alligator. I remember because it gave me nightmares when I was little, but live and let die was coming up here. Bull and lion, crowded, or crouched and ready to pounce, but then surprised by something that distracts their laser focus. The high priestess steps onto the scene, into their world, pits, olives, and exotic flowers, pillars of lotus, and the Merkaba, very feminine in red, and the XXs were coming up for the women, so it's very supportive energy of the women tonight, and the world, around the world, and red, of course. Present to the world, bald eagle and Michael have a discussion over her head, sewing a hook. And I was getting the bald eagle, Thoth was coming up as well. So Archangel Michael and Thoth kind of watching over everyone, having a discussion over her head, sewing a hook into a train of a dress. So the angels are doing this. Adding another connection to the wagon train or caboose. Two intelligent guys with nothing to lose, wanting to attach themselves to the gravy train. So watch out for the guys who just are scouting out women for money, that kind of thing. Third-party heartbreak, block or wave of strings to be pulled, a birthday celebration, 6 candles and flames. The Empress is out. And then something came up here about LinkedIn. Empress, shield, and Kundalini, 2 lovebirds on leather. Truth on the wall, stepped on his heart, or my toes on his heart. Dark hair by creek, fantasy mirror, or couch by gold frames by a creek. Or karmic and his mother are surrounding it all, making love by the creek, or water, so someone down by the creek, making out, or just water, doesn't have to be a creek, needing rescue, and a fantasy mirror, reflections he sees but doesn't remember. So it's referencing the divine masculine seeing things or dreaming things, and they're like really real, but he doesn't remember them in this life. And 26 was coming up a couple times today. It was standing out to me. So 26 is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands both came up together toward the end here. So at the end, actually. Okay, so brown hair was coming up, a brown-haired girl on the grass by the water, and a redhead on the red couch with food. So whether this is real or something some masculines may be seeing in what their visions, whether they're meditating or in their dreams, wanting to rescue and ride off into the sunset on fields of flames. So there's a lot of passion energy coming up here for the masculine, and physical activity is the underlying energy. Yeah, the underlying energy is stressing it as really important, physical activity, but underneath that, compassion. So make sure to have compassion with the physical activity, whatever it is. So divorced King of Pentacles, or he's spiritual and not religious, not expressing his stinging feelings of passion. The wounded warrior with stinger up, over loss or of sadness. So he's getting over it, whatever he's been going through. Poppy fields, cotton fields, counting sheep until alarm goes off and he has gotten no sleep. A snake in the grass, scaly, silvery skin, red dress, red drum, and lasers for peelings. Okay, so there's lots of references coming up here. So red dress was coming up, but also red dress that they always ask for when you buy airplane tickets. And silvery skin, that can all that stuff can reference snakes, but also lizards. And then red drum comes up, and we all know what red drum was from. There could be a red drum, so there could be some kind of tribal ceremony, but also some other Wiccan or Coven stuff was coming up later in the read, so I'm not going to bring that up now, but it will come up. Peanuts positioned in the grass by the ivy, and one ladybug. Silk red-orange coat of arms, sky jumpers helmet, and an army to rely on. Backing him up, standing all aligned, scattered energies below. After all, feelings not controlled is chaos after all. So it's like some of the masculines, like putting one last effort, like insisting on not changing their beliefs, even though their beliefs are changing, you know, trying to resist that, and trying to keep everything organized like it always was, because if it's not organized, or not expressing feelings, because, you know, they were taught that if you express your feelings, that's going to be your downfall, okay? So it's them still trying to talk themselves out of what they believe now, okay? Going back into their old beliefs. The King of Pentacles, all about money and green. Really tired, without much fight left, looking out to see what others are doing. Now the contract or commitment is over. Floating and knowing over loss that was slow going. Angel blending a wedding to rescue his passion with physical activity and compassion. Recently for the masculine, the shadow web is aggressive with truth. Running away, but then wanting to message. Or friends that ran away for a while and now speaking their truth too, but in their style. So you need to reference this too as your twin, because the masculine and feminine come from different perspectives to the same thing. So they have their own style of the way they express that. Overhurt feelings about not knowing, anxieties, codependencies, addictions, and people showing. So whether people show up or they're showing because they're pregnant, okay? Telling friend or coworker to wait here, I'll be right back, and rushing off to tell the truth. No more regret, no more lack. Okay, so this is all underlying energy, and we're just getting into the foundation now. So the foundation is walking away, tired of cleaning up others' messes, and now free to open heart, take a leap, and spend on dresses, or just freedom versus financial independence. And there's definitely, I just want to bring up, I forgot to write down some of the energies that were coming up in the underlying energy. There's definitely Sagittarius, Libra, Scorpio, Aries. Excuse me one sec. Pisces, Taurus, okay, Pisces, Taurus, those are pretty much the energies from the underlying energies. And I'm going to show you the picture real quick too before I forget, because I know sometimes I do forget that stuff, and I apologize. Now the basic read will be on the post, but this is the entire read. All right, so centrally controlling his world, patient in separation with Leo out of control. And I was getting a lot yesterday and today when I write patience, because the temperance is patience, that it was coming up not only as patience, but actually a doctor's patient. So you could be a patient, or the divine masculine could be a patient or a doctor with patience. So centrally controlling his world, patient in separation with Leo out of control, or just his weakness or drained. The challenge being for the divine masculine, independence, or an independent female, receiving information at work and working out details of block. Strong connection, not at work but recovering, or recovering from losing business or not getting along at work with partner. wanting to work on his own or with a Capricorn, or wanting independence from a marriage to the devil or a Capricorn. Locked in, selling tickets to the show. Come see me suffer. You would never know. Okay, this is the energy coming up from the masculine. Control nightmare. The King of Wands twisted story. So King of Wands doesn't have to be the masculine. It can be. But he comes up over and over again as either someone watching the masculine or a brother, partner, or friend that's always around him. So King of Wands twisted story, heard through the grapevine about romance, sweets and tweets and gates, redheads, fiery devils. Now the Son, the Father, and less the Holy Spirit, and less than Holy Spirit. So now the Father, Son, and less than Holy Spirit. Exposing control issues. Vanity and destined split. Dropping burdens to cover up wounds. Then ending the battle of the King of Swords, who's not in his truth. Okay, so this is more coming up as the masculine. Letting go confessions. Not getting his wish. Awakened and out of here to get back all his losses. The King of Cups not satisfied, so starting over with confession. But the and I was getting the King of Cups again is coming up as that Emperor, the Emperor Aquarius Leo energy, King of Cups. That was coming up as the same as what was identified the other day. So King of Cups not satisfied, so starting over with confession, but an Empress reversed, Magician reversed, so that can be one person or two, definitely doesn't like it. Mother or karmic is insecure and out of control nightmare. The King of Wands exiting right to the Devil reunion or Capricorn reunion, and then a leap to the stars and to the Aquarius in lack to tell them, which was coming up as that Emperor energy. So the Emperor itself, the Emperor does come up here, but just as a clarifier, but it comes up a lot in what the Emperor was identified with the other day. Okay, they're all coming up together as the Emperor being this King of Cups. Whether he's up reversed or upright, he comes up both ways. But as Aquarius Leo energy, and I'm trying to remember what other energies. There's some other energies that came up for him too. So we have the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and the King of Cups, which I believe is the Emperor, and the Empress comes up reversed, with the Magician reversed, which is really negative energy. So that's insecure and lack, but at worst it could be like, you know, hell's fury, right? So, just saying, there's, like I said, those parents of the masculine who are having issues, they're still having issues. If it's not that the Emperor is sick, the Empress is definitely out of control and lack, or could be really, really nasty, or not liking this at all, what the masculine's deciding to do. But soon, to find peace by palm or palm trees, tackled by Leo or just a strong woman, the King of Cups in love with destiny, Queen of Pentacles, great love and work partner who calms the beast in him, touching her left butt and putting it out there. Okay, so the masculine here could be coming up as the King of Cups, but it also could be the Emperor around him within his relationship. So however it affects you, the King of Cups could go both ways there. But it's definitely coming up as the Divine Masculine as well. But it's coming up as the Divine Masculine wanting to find peace, and seeing maybe the Divine the Feminine's putting it out there and giving him a lot for which to think about. Why did his flame go out? The twin message of love comes out. Marriage without attention is dead. So somebody's marriage that hasn't been given attention is dead, whether it's this Emperor and Empress or the Divine Masculine and his relationship. Capricorn and Taurus spun the wheel. Enough said. So that's coming up as the energies that are no longer together. Friend in a Virgo or Hermit, Queen of Pentacles with Libra and Leo, putting it out there for her twin. Bad news for the religious. He is Knight of Pentacles, up all night, couldn't sleep due to God's love offer, grounding and integrating, and howling or yelling at the moon with the dogs, telling the dogs to get out of his way. He's got a long journey ahead, a proposal to make. And it was just 35-11. 35 is the wounded warrior, and 11 is justice. So he's on a mission of justice. The cards that came up for the Divine Masculine were forgiving and learning, past life relationship, and this could be the one. The feminine power comes to light, fit as a fiddle, been lifting with his third energy, shining his light at night. Around him, or he is seen as, is the hermit with the light, holding space for him or her. The Emperor is exhausted from breaking contract or commitment or divorce. Virgo, Aries, Taurus with fire is coming up as the energy around the masculine, but their flame is out. Okay, so this is coming up as either if it's one person or it could be all four people. Virgo, Aries, Taurus, and fire, or it could be one person of the masculine coming up as Virgo, Aries, Taurus with fire, but that their flame is out because they're drained. Or this could be 2 to 3 people, and the Taurus earth sign is leaving a partnership. I'm out. Leaving the Emperor and the King of Wands reversed behind. So it could be a father and brother and the Divine Masculine partnership. So it could be a family partnership, or it could just be their partners who aren't related. But a lot of these come up as family related. So King of Wands reversed could be his brother, friend, or partner, and the Emperor could be father, father-in-law, or partner. But he's leaving that. The Knight of Pentacles has a chateau in mind, clearing blocks of the masculine used to clear blocks all about the High Priestess, about higher self, psychic abilities, and the etheric realms. The Queen of Pentacles expressing feelings about their negative past and blocking. So he needs to get rid of any negative connotations about this, like the left butt and Leo, and ignoring the flame and being mean to her. So the masculine just worried about all these things for no reason, to let it all go. Coming together on New Year's Eve, an apology from Leo, Aquarius, Emperor, King of Cups about a love-work connection that he blocked with pots on the wall and listening in, and him stretching his neck, still out on a limb. Held down till he told the truth, or feeling ashamed, around a natural earth gathering that was actually whips and chains, okay? Stern magician and candle trophy torturer. Someone's a witch, a Wiccan, or voodoo. Some divine masculines may have been entrapped to control them so he wouldn't escape them. So obviously this is not for everyone, but there's a few people out there this definitely applies to. And for someone, it looks like the divine masculine was tricked into going to some kind of ceremony that he wouldn't have normally agreed to, that it was about just being grounded and earthy, like gathering, that kind of thing, maybe tribal, you know, like a shaman thing. And then when he got there, it was more of a witch or Wiccan or, you know, coven type of group, or even just someone coming together to do voodoo. But I was getting very negative connotations around this gathering. But I'm not talking about the present. It may have been a past situation, but something maybe the divine masculine's embarrassed about because it wasn't his choice to be there, and maybe something bad happened. I don't know. But there's just some kind of negative energy very much so around it, just that he would be humiliated maybe if anyone ever found out that he was there, that kind of thing. But they did it on purpose to get him to not be able to leave, because they knew he would be too embarrassed. So then nature and perseverance comes out for the masculine. Nature, but even more so to persevere. Exposing a coming together of a dysfunctional family who fell in love, or tripped up in love, or messed up in offering love, or a sexual... or a second chance to a marriage. So someone who's screwed up in offering a second chance to a marriage. Leo, Earth, Libra, Taurus, female. Alright, so these were all coming up for one female, but it could all be separate energies as well. Leo, Earth, Libra, Taurus, female, and Leo, Aquarius, male, King of Cups, family around him. Okay, so these were coming up as negative energies around him. So this looks like the Emperor, and then female, could be the karmic, who's Leo, Earth, Libra, Taurus, female. but dysfunctional family was definitely coming up here, so it could be a sister as well. The Knight of Wands, excited for release, or release from a Leo or King of Cups, Aries, Aquarius drinker. No more fighting or hanging out in uncomfortable emotions, crowning his home or a union. After betrayal, in knowing, walking away to propose to hermit from shadow world with light. Independent twin, pure innocence of children, psychic abilities exposed to coming together in a passionate endeavor. Over sadness and knowing about shadow side and grids and webs, walking away to complete independence and expose proposal to kids and or twin. And 44 was just up again. 40, 44, 40 is the Page of Cups. All the pages are coming up. All right, we had Page of Wands, Page of Swords came up, Page of Cups, and then Page of Pentacles always comes up as the Divine Masculine inner child as well too. So there's a real focus here on the young and the children, the young and the restless. So walking away to over knowing, over sadness and loss, regret, whatever it is, and knowing about the shadow side now, getting it, the grids and the webs, walking away to complete in their own independence and expose proposal to kids and or twin. Hermit or Virgo or professional or wise old man. High Priestess or Pisces. They all come together for a passionate date at home. Okay? So it's going to be different situations, but it's definitely about coming together energy, whether it's just the Divine Masculine getting together with family for everything to fall apart because they know, or for the masculine actually coming together with his twin, or actually some Divine Masculines coming together with their twin and their children all together. So really beautiful energies here. And I'm going to pull some cards for you guys as well. Now I told you I'd tell you, it's 42 minutes, so I'll read you really quickly. This was the read for the masculine yesterday, where I said the mother was interfering. Either she was like going to Haiti or Holy Trinity. So it's one or the other. Some masculines, it's the mother from Haiti. The other masculines is going to be the Holy Trinity mother, who's very religious, though. That could be kind of going to Haiti as well. So however it relates to you, he was coming up as Hang Ma. The King of Swords connection, released from prison, sharing with others in family separation. New love out in the cold while he looks over the balcony or window, or her standing up for herself. Gate wide open to walk through with God. Brown boots with laces at farmhouse. Bleeding out from message or massage, which was just coming up. But I was getting some of the masculines saying, but no, I'm married till dead. Doesn't matter how unhappy I am. New life out for the offering, but the King of Swords in his head, not his truth. Rejected by marriage or God. Can't find peace in rejection. And then flirt came up for him last night. This is past life relationship. And this was at 6:53 last night. The Emperor stands firm on the outside, but a mess within, and this could be the masculine or the Emperor around the masculine. Fantasizing, surprising her at night with a pearl, but afraid she'd reject him, and anyway, it's a sin. Maybe a meal under the stars would work. And then it could be, too, like if a father interfered, he could be trying to make up for the Divine Masculine now as well. Moderation and love partnership came up for the masculine. A fool in love with the Queen of Cups, but no affection. Eye on the prize, she'll think he's just in it for the money. Lots of water on both sides. And I was getting treasure chests at the bottom of the ocean. Gold, light, and love, or dolphins and red passion. She waits for him to arrive. Well-off family and married man flirted and rejected, worried he'll get the same. Recently truth out, standing up to uninspired child, frustrated and lost his power. Foundation is the family legacy, choosing a path of world or stay with the Empress. Either way, King of Cups. Okay, so being unconditional love. Centrally, and King of Cups could come up as father and son, both the same. It could be referencing that the Divine Masculine is very much like his father, the Emperor. Centrally, the Queen of Cups reversed with the Emperor, karmic lover destined to get over it. And it could be, I was getting this for someone, obviously this isn't for everyone either, but the Emperor related to the masculine may come together with his karmic. It's also come up that some of the masculines that their karmic was like with their brother before, so I don't know if it's during the marriage or before the marriage, and the masculine may not know that. Tying family judgment to work, finding peace and passion. The masculine is challenged by the Page of Cups, heart, which is often the divine feminine, willing to die to hold on, awake to the devil or angel, the high priestess with passion. He's seeing that she has passion too. Now dumping everything emotional and losing money and status at work, coming out of isolation to make money and be strong, impatient in holding back truth, uncomfortable emotions, being strong, uncomfortable emotions, working and spying to get over suffering, about fantasy and karmic, keeping high priestess and karmic quiet to avoid a nightmare. Lobster heads down the path at night, scaring dogs with his muscles. Soon waiting, searching for the truth. Connection is peaceful. His offer is true blue. Presently needing attention and feeling like a failure. Starting over in love. Divine feminine's heart. And he's sleeping on it and then manifesting his dreams tomorrow. He is receiving downloads, recovering and strong, but exhausted from risk lately, or risk-taking. New love comes up, playfulness. Around him, higher self, high priestess, made judgment or announcement amidst split and no opportunities. Clear blocks of Trinity for the masculine. Clear blocks about Trinity, confession, and union. So anyone who has Catholic upbringing and feels the need to confess, that could be relating to them as well. But to just clear blocks about the workplace, any traditions that he's been living by or under, he needs to clear blocks about this for union. Injustice and walking away to fight another day at work, like the blocks that he has about, he has to be suffering until he dies, and fighting another day. He has to let go of those blocks. Personal growth comes up, and leadership is really strong and important for the masculine. Personal growth and leadership. The magician with trophy, but whipped by the truth of it. Protecting his balance, the truth of her love. Justice with independent. He offers his love. Alchemy. Alchemy. Hermit sheds light on what she didn't know. Patience, and here it came up again, patience, or actually Dr. Patient, and patience and pits and apricot kernels. In past twin held back passions, making them sick and drained by sudden events, epiphanies, and drama, now coming together, no thanks to his mama. The King of Swords family getting downloads from higher self. Truth of judgment of the Page of Cups, opening heart of the divine feminine at the workplace, and working on love and alchemy. Okay, so that was the message from yesterday. And that had the Page of Cups in it too. And about the divine feminine with inside the divine masculine is the three, is the Holy Trinity. And that the mother blocked that. So the mother, this Empress reverse, was somehow instrumental in blocking the masculine and the feminine. Okay, and so let's pull. Today I'm going to pull for you guys from the Ascension deck. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, what do we need to know this time? For the masculine, this is for the divine masculine and everyone watching. What is the advice that we need to know? December 31st, New Year's Eve. It's a New Year's Day. December 31st, 2018. Okay, Spirit, what do we need to know? 3 cards came up. Pallas Athena's at the bottom. That's at 48. I told you I woke up at 8:48 this morning. That's the 8 of Cups. Walking away or walking within. So there may be a lot of twins. You may want to stay in tonight as opposed to going out. The underlying energy is affirmation. I use the sword of truth to lead the way. The 3 cups that came up for you guys, and again that was 48 is a 3. Okay, and we're talking about Trinity, so here's another 3. And then the cards that came up for you guys are Mahatma Energies number 6, Lady Portia number 32, and Veils of Illusion number 25, which was in the coding today. Both 25 and 32 I brought up because 32 is tomorrow. And 6 is, of course, all about love, family, and community. Okay, so I'll show you each card. Mahatma. Okay. Lady Portia. And Veils of Illusion. Okay, 25, that's the Knight of Wands. 6 is the Lovers. And 32 is that energy for tomorrow, the 6 of Wands. Proud and strutting your stuff, the Peacock. That's a lot of sexual energy there. Okay, so Mahatma energy, number 6, the golden era of Atlantis. Many great souls place some of their energy, as well as the Christ Buddha light in that of the 12 rays, into a sacred pool to create a high frequency group consciousness. People could draw from this sacred pool to enhance themselves and their projects. This golden white Mahatma energy is once more available, and you're invited to draw it through your chakra system into the earth. This will raise your frequency and help the planet, for you will leave golden white footsteps wherever you go. Send it to others and accelerate their ascension. And the affirmation is, I invoke Mahatma energy to flow through me. Lady Portia, who's the partner of Saint Germain, very important because he's the violet flame and transmutation, all that. 32, like I said, is that 5 of the 6 of Wands. And the Veils of Illusion, 25, is a 7. So we have 5, 6, 7. Okay? Lady Portia is known as the goddess of justice. As a lord of karma, she tempers justice with mercy and balance. In order to act with these golden qualities, you must let go of your own projections and prejudices and see the whole picture. When you receive this card, Lady Portia is calling on you to review an aspect of your life or relationships to bring it fully into the 5th dimension. Be generous-hearted, open-minded, and fair, and step aside from your own judgments, and then your ascension path will be showered with gold. So even if someone did wrong by you, to still keep your heart open and be fair, and you know, it's not about holding grudges, it's about being neutral and knowing that everyone has a light and a shadow side, and just standing in your own truth. The affirmation is that I am fair-minded, open-hearted, and non-judgmental. The Veils of Illusion says, when we incarnate, we go through the veil of amnesia and the 7 veils of illusion, who we truly are. When you dissolve those veils, you become fully enlightened. To do this, you're called on to take mastery, believe in the spirit world, practice unconditional love, honor animals in the nature kingdom, walk with the masters and angels, see that all is connected, and finally live as an enlightened being. You're invited to ask the unicorns to work with you to remove your veils of illusion so that you can become an enlightened master. Okay? So you can work with the unicorns, you can call them in. If you have never experienced the unicorn before, I've actually experienced a unicorn that I'm very close with in energy a few times. And it's really, it's hard to describe that kind of energy, okay? The affirmation is, I am one with everything. Okay, so mercy and balance, about truth and justice. You know, the veils of illusions are thinning for us, which is basically telling us through this New Year's portal. The veils are getting thinner, more of your abilities will be coming in. And then, of course, the Mahatma energy of love and Christ Buddha, that it's all one. Mahatma, Christ Buddha, it's all the same, it's all one. We're all of that. But to allow that energy to flow through you and send it to others. Okay, and I'm gonna, from the, I'll pick another one real quick too, from the traditional Rider-Waite. Take another deep breath. This is for the masculines, everyone who's watching. The Divine Masculine Twin Flames. What do they need to know? What is the final message for them today before they go out for New Year's Eve tonight? Or if they stay in for New Year's Eve, into New Year's Day. What is the message for everyone who's watching? For the highest and best good of all those concerned. And let's clear all obstacles to harmonious permanent physical union for all true organic twins and their beloveds, filling the empty spaces with only beautiful organic love and light. And so it is. Thank you. Okay. It's getting just a little sticky here. All right. So what do we all need to know? What is the message from our masters, from spirit, from our guides? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? What is the message? For this New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. A little bit came out. Alright, the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess reversed, okay, which is about not using your intuition, and but it could literally just be someone not knowing something. But the Lovers reversed is behind it. Okay, this is about being indecisive. It's also about no affection. Okay, so not using your intuition to get affection, or someone didn't know. See, there's someone here sad behind that. Alright, there was some sadness, regret, loss of affections because someone didn't use their intuition, or that someone didn't know what that the masculine didn't know what the feminine was going through, because the Queen of Cups is right behind that, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so we have two queens. Geez, there's so much message here. Alright, underneath those, but this is still underlying energy, is the Death and two queens. Queen of Cups and Queen of Swords. And transformation. This also could be one person, okay? And it could be Scorpio energy coming up. But also we have the High Priestess and the Lovers, which is could be Pisces and Gemini energy, all in the underlying energy. Then what comes up for you guys was, again, the Ace of Pentacles has been coming up every day for you guys. That's that new life, right? So this is the energy that's coming out for you, the initial energy. The King of Wands, and the King of Wands doesn't have to be the masculine, but it certainly can be. Or it can be the masculine offering money back to someone he owed money to, which is good, because that would free him. Or there's an offer of a new life to the King of Wands, okay? But then we have the Moon coming up, which is deception, because it's reversed, okay? But this also could just be, for me, this references the new moon, but it also references early morning when the moon is leaving. Okay, so at dawn, and I was getting this because he didn't sleep, so this could also reference that the masculine didn't get any sleep last night. But also, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, which I was getting, sometimes I get for this, is just being everything in slow motion, because when you get into the etheric realms, you feel like everything's, you're floating on air, it's like slow motion. Okay, so I wasn't getting negativity from this, I was getting slow motion. But it could just be that also the positive effects of the Wheel of Fortune have just slowed down for the moment over New Year's, into New Year's Day, so that you could really appreciate the present moment. Then these two cards came out, Strength reversed and Judgment. Alright, so there's definitely this energy coming into the energy of the Divine Masculine. Alright, there's Leo, and I always consider Judgment for me as Aquarius energy. For someone else it might be different, but that's okay. But I'm getting Leo and Aquarius energy, but it's definitely very negative and judgmental. This is around the masculine. And then another two cards came up here. Okay, so it's the Two of Pentacles and the Hierophant reversed. So there's a couple different things you can get from here. It's always about juggling and also about performing, not being your real self. It's about repeating patterns, but it's also about staying balanced, you know, once you get going. But the Hierophant here is reversed, so there is a break in contract here. It could be juggling spirituality, putting on a show, but it's also breaking contracts, a breaking commitments, or a divorce. And it could be because someone was juggling two people, but it also could just be doing too much, juggling too much work, and not knowing how to get out of the commitment. But I'm also connecting this back to the Ace of Pentacles, where now this offer was made to the King of Wands. Now they want to get going on it right away. It's like the Divine Masculine's family trying to suck him back into another contract real quickly before they lose him. So be careful of any offers, you know, maybe a trap. But definitely there's some negative energy around the masculine he's got to watch out for. And that could be Taurus energy. So we have definitely fire energy, Cancer, Libra, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and the Empress comes up as well. So there's a lot of Taurus here. These two cards came up next. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups reversed and the Seven of Pentacles. And I often see this as someone daydreaming about their savings. So he's reaping his rewards. He's saved and he can take a break to relax and enjoy what he has. But he's trying to figure out what to do with his money, or he's wondering if he has enough for what he wants to do. He hasn't gotten his wish because the Nine of Cups are reversed. That could also be some arrogance. But I'm not feeling arrogance here. I'm feeling someone didn't get their wish. They're unhappy. They're unsatisfied, either with what they have, or they don't know how to spend their money and go forward. They don't know how to reinvest it in the business, or they don't know what they want to spend it on personally. But they're not happy. Maybe it's not enough for what they really want. And then the last card that comes out is the Empress in all her glory. So after a lot of this negativity, the Empress comes up at the end. Like, I'm not getting that she's like perfect. I'm getting like she's like, this is how she sees herself. I'm all that, and I haven't done anything wrong. But we just saw that she was coming up reversed. So there's something about this upright. There's the way she sees herself, but not the truth. Okay? Maybe, and I'm also seeing these next to each other. The masculine could be thinking about asking his mother for a loan or money because he doesn't feel like what he has is enough to do what he wants to do. And trying to see her in a good light as opposed to the negativity that she's been in recently. And it could be a different Empress. There could be a mother and a mother-in-law. And maybe the mother and mother-in-law was the reversed Empress, and the other mother is now upright. So either way, it could be the masculine looking to a mother or mother-in-law or a boss, a female boss, to borrow money. Or she needs his money and he doesn't have much, but he's going to offer it anyway. He doesn't want to, but okay. So anyway, there are your messages. Have an amazing New Year's, you guys, tonight, and an amazing 2019. Definitely going to be new energies, but it's all about the Sun 2019 and number 12, which is all about the Hangman and wisdom and seeing things from a new perspective. But it's really about wisdom, which is all about the fifth and sixth dimensions. That's all about wisdom. Okay, in the etheric realms. So drink your water, get your rest. Yeah. Be careful tonight. Have fun. There's a lot of fire energy out there. Rise and be loved. Bye.